people saying they can't find Spanish language books in the United States. And it's funny for me because I'm buying lots of them as a librarian, and I find I have trouble connecting them with people as well, do you know? And how do we find that community? Do you know, so I think there's sort of for me, there are two pieces, and one is how do we build both there's how do you build the content, and then there's how do we build online communities of readers and readership in Spanish that goes beyond just having the content, but how are you engaging in public discourse in Spanish and making that kind of presence? Because I think a lot of the problem for libraries in the traditional sort of print library was that we weren't necessarily engaged in the community in Spanish, you know, and then so we have to now do both. Be engaged in the community in Spanish for Spanish-speaking readers, and then engage in online communities in Spanish and find where those conversations are taking place. But the other thing is, and I think, sorry, from Barnes & Noble on the next, your point, and it's about demographics, you know, and I think it's very important, though, to look at demographics and sort of thinking through this, being on this panel, just to think about the community that we serve in New York City as New York Public Library, that the Latino population in New York is the poorest and the least educated population in New York City. And that doesn't mean that they don't read, but they're going to have very different needs than other communities. And so there's going to be and it's also the youngest community statistically in New York City. So for a Spanish language market of what's the content that I'm trying to build, I'm trying to build juvenile material, I'm trying to build self-help, but I'm also trying to build like test prep, you know, GED books, you know, but also serious fiction, genre fiction, and all of this kind of material. But it's going to be, it has to be very, very popular. You know, I think one thing that I see in all kinds of markets is a pushing of academic material above popular material, which really isn't useful for me. You know, if there's an e-vendor and they all have academic content, I'm going to, as a public librarian, I'm going to not be interested in a fundamental way. But if you have Harlequin romance novels and you have GED in Spanish, you know, then you have my attention. But the other thing is also looking at those statistics is that although it seems the Nook is, you're having success with the Nook in Spanish, it seems that most Latinos have a higher percentage who are using the internet through a handheld mobile device or cell phone, which is from the Pew, I saw some Pew statistics going up there. Yeah, you know, they're more likely. So really, I want to see, I'm less interested in the readers than in how we can transition to cell phones and other portable devices and having ebooks available on there. Like my dream is GED on your cell phone because I think that'll reach my usership.